3rd and 4. Here comes pressure. There goes the ball wide open. It is Smith again, all the way for the touchdown. We talked about it.
Eagles get right against the Vikings. They own the Vikings ever since, was it 2019? They lost by $1 billion in Minnesota. You can't always count, for the most part, on the Eagles getting their ass kicked inside a dome at some point in the season. So check on who the dome teams they're playing this year. This is interesting to see. Daily Sports Podcast, News and Air Stakes Gambling. It's Football Friday. We've got football, maybe some non-football. It's just the appropriate way to pronounce it. Football. Gambling, etc. Picks. Last night in the game, every single time, there's one weird rule in the NFL where every single time it happens, we get the same take. And occasionally on the internet, everyone has the same take. Here's the same take. If you have the football and you're going in to score and you fumble the football out of the end zone, it's a touchback for the other team. And everyone says it's the dumbest rule in sports. I think what's dumber than the dumbest rule in sports is caring this much. I cared back in 2015 when I learned about it when the Lions lost to the Seahawks because KJ Wright batted the ball out of the back of the end zone. So here's the play. Justin Jefferson going in to score, and he reaches the ball across the line and just fumbles that motherfucker right out of there. I shouldn't cuss, but I'm not on TikTok, so the parents can't get mad at me. Here it is.
Cousins hanging in. Cousins deep, and it's pulled in.
See that?
And the ball comes out.
He shoves the ball across the line here. Watch the replay. Just go down, bro.
Terry McAuley real quickly.
Nope.
What are you seeing here?
Fumble. And then some people are dumbest rule in sports. They shouldn't be penalized. Like, well, he threw the ball out of the end zone, bro. Like, I don't know. But you know what? I'm getting caught in the trap. Don't care. I don't care. A rule is a rule, and you know the rules. Speaking of rules, and you know the rules are rules. Do you remember last Thursday night when Juwan Taylor, the tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, was lining up as a slot receiver? Well, the NFL sent a memo that that's supposedly not allowed anymore. Back to Thursday Night Football. A.J. Brown being a diva, not getting the ball enough. Jealous that Devontae Smith has 2 touchdowns. Look at him. I'm getting mad. Give me the ball. We're up by 30, dude. We're up by fucking 30. Fair enough. Jalen Hurts, he then threw him a bunch of slants, which I guess that counts. Justin Jefferson had an insane game. Statistically, Kirk Cousins is on fire and probably the best quarterback in the NFL statistically at this moment. At age 24, only 52 games played, which is more than just over 3 seasons, I believe. Justin Jefferson already has more receiving yards than any Bears player has in their entire franchise history. They've been playing football in Chicago as the Bears for more than 100 years. It's just great. Just bury the Bears. Yeah, you guys are the worst. Screw the Bears. What can I say? The Bears are the worst. After the game, Jason Kelce, who is in a documentary about himself and his brother and football, his family. It's apparently really good. I've been watching the clips on the internet. Kylie Kelce is awesome. It's just cool. They're both the best players at their positions, perhaps, like, arguably ever. Anyway, so he's on the set. Amazon Prime does the game last night. They also do the documentary. It's perfect synergy. Whatever. Here's Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelce. And Tony Gonzalez has a question.
And she's a big fan of a certain pop star. And you have a family member, a brother, I think.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing rumors that there's maybe some stuff. Can you comment on this?
I've seen these rumors. I cannot comment.
Damn gossip TV. What are we doing? It's for my daughter, okay?
Yeah, it's irresponsible to be on television and not ask someone who could know about who Taylor Swift's dating if they know who Taylor Swift is dating. It's just irresponsible journalism. And also, yeah, you got to do that, man. Someone's got to do it. Let's go to the National Basketball Association. Something to keep an eye on. It's not a controversial Wednesday situation. It's just something interesting to me, which is, so the Phoenix Suns owner, Matt Ishbia, I don't know. I don't really care about the names of owners except for Jared Jones. He announced that the team is going to remove its games from cable. And you're like, what are you going to make us pay? No, the opposite. Ishbia is making all Phoenix Suns games free to watch on local television, We're not focusing on money. We're focusing on winning, success, and taking care of fans. So what this owner has found out, because saying that an owner, a billionaire, is not focused on money is LOL. We're really concerned about the safety of our players. We're really, it's all about patient care. No, it isn't. It's about making money. What he's found out is that if more people watch, you get to sell more ad dollars, which is fine. Also, the nickel and diming of these local contracts like Bally Sports and Fox Sports and NBC Sports Philadelphia or whatever, these contracts are not worth the hundreds of millions in revenue that ads are and that Vibes are and that national TV is. The Suns are giving away free indoor TV antennas to any fans who don't already pay for a TV subscription. So if you get TV in Phoenix, in the Valley of the Sun, you get Suns games for free. And I think that there's been a lot of talk about the NHL and the MLB specifically because they're very big overseas about how hard it is to watch games, and ESPN has these rights, and it's $6.99 a month, and then local TVs are blacked out all the time. It's really strange. This is, I think, just something to keep an eye on. I think it's going to be a precedent for other non-football sports to do this kind of thing. We have the take of the year from Newsmax. Newsmax has thought that Fox News was too liberal, so they invented itself. Someone named Greg Kelly, I don't know or care, and he I don't know who he is or care who he is. I really don't. Thought that Aaron Rodgers' torn Achilles could probably be directly linked to his ayahuasca usage, and then he said this, which is really great.
We love others.
Mm-hmm. What? How about going to church? Whatever the hell he's talking about, ayahuasca tea is a crummy substitute for God.
That sounded so dorky that I don't think that guy believes what he said. Al Michaels last night. Al Michaels has lost a step, and we all know that, but it's getting sad. Here we go. Let's listen to Al Michaels. Just remember, game is played in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
What stadium was that?
Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
One more time.
Veterans Stadium.
Veterans Stadium, of course, a legendary field. In Philadelphia. That's where the Eagles played. That's where they played before it was imploded in 2004. 2004. That stadium has been gone. So the Lincoln Financial Field has been around, like, not quite as long, but like pretty good. Actually, the Link is kind of old. Probably needs to be updated, if we're being honest with ourselves. I'm sure that they would like that. Okay, let's get to Football Friday. We'll start in college. Wow, what a gross slate. Oh, my God. Let's start with the noon games. It's like what you're going to watch. Penn State at Illinois. Penn State's a 14.5-point favorite. And LSU at Mississippi State. These are going to be those games where you're like, man, could there be an upset? And then at the end, the team that's got the number by their name is going to win by 1,000. The noon games are tough. Like you could watch North Dakota at Boise State. That'd be cool. Wake Forest at Old Dominion. Georgia Southern goes all the way up to Madison to play Wisconsin. The Big Ten, there are a lot of, this year it's really kind of interesting. There are a ton, and I mean a ton, of Power 5 interconference play for the mid to lower tier teams in those conferences. Here's a great example. Louisville is at Indiana, and Georgia Tech is at Ole Miss. It's happening all the time. Tonight, Virginia's at Maryland. If Virginia play Tennessee, Tennessee's legit. These are tough games. I'm proud of these schools for doing this kind of. Florida State at Boston College. I guess that technically counts. Penn State played West Virginia. They're just like not, there's nothing really sexy. The big game of the day will be South Carolina at Georgia, I guess, quote unquote, not really. And then the nighttime game, Tennessee at Florida. That's another one where you're like, oh, maybe, but I don't think so. They're favored by a lot. A lot of eyes will be on Michigan State because Mel Tucker was fired, and I think Washington, I think they're favored by 17. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not enough. Maybe the players will rally around the interim head coach, or maybe the players are like, whoa, which team wants to pay me money to bail on this program? Because they have 30 days to transfer it anywhere they want for any reason at all. The big story in college football this weekend is coming to us via Colorado State. Colorado State head coach somebody, I don't know. Let's see. Jay Norvell said something along the lines of, let's see, here it is. When I talk to grown-ups, This is so stupid. I can't believe it. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and glasses off. That's what my mother taught me. Whoa, hold on just a minute. The sleuths at Barstool Sports found out every single time Jay Norvell talks to the media, he's got his visor on. And now he's made it personal for Coach Pram, who's 2-0 with 2 big road victories, non-conference road victories at that. And now what used to probably be a big rivalry, or like will never quite be a big, it feels like Georgia Tech. We're like, yeah, maybe one day 30, 20 years ago. Colorado State this weekend. The Colorado State head coach talking shit on Deion Sanders. It's now personal for Deion Sanders, and now, more importantly, it's personal for all of us because we have to pretend to care about Colorado State because Deion is loud and black, and the old white establishment hates that. He's also annoying. I think Deion's annoying, and I think it's all about me, and I want to very clearly state on the record, I think there's no chance he will ever be successful as an NFL head coach. But the college stuff, this is going to work for a while. He's just got Jim Harbaugh vibes where you're like, God, this is so annoying, but teams always win. Coming off a little racist from Jay Norvell. I take my glasses in because that's what my mother taught me. Like, oh, what are we insinuating? I don't know what Colorado's favored by. Should we find out? I imagine that the correct answer will be not enough. But that's the thing that everyone's going to be talking about. And they can't... Remember, guys, they can't all be winners. Every weekend in college football can't be a winner. 23.5. Colorado's favored by. I think they'll cover that. I think they'll win by about 30. It won't be as bad as they're going to make it seem, but it'll be bad. And here we are, yet again, talking about Deion Sanders. Just the way he wants it. Let's go to the NFL. Thursday Night Football was great. I have some bets for you. The Lions and the Seahawks have played... This is the 3rd consecutive year they've played. The last 2 meetings, they combined for over 80 points. It was 51-29, and then last year was like 48-45 or something. Over-under is 47.5. I don't think they'll get there, but I do think you should bet on it because why not? The Lions are favored by 4.5. I think that's low. The Seahawks are missing both of their starting tackles, who were just sophomores in the league anyway. So that's a really good bet for me. I have some underdogs that I like. I like the Colts to win outright. The game is essentially a pick 'em. The Colts are technically underdogs at Houston, and I don't know. I think Houston has better players, but offensive head coaches and Anthony Richardson, and I think they're going to win. The game of the weekend is the Kansas City Chiefs going down to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis Kelce, I believe, is going to play, but you never know with those things. If it just wakes up and it's swollen and stuff, it's not going to happen. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they might win the Super Bowl. They're really good. They're deep. They have a Super Bowl head coach. They have a freak show at quarterback. They're 3.5-point underdogs at home. I love that bet. The Niners are 7-point favorites at Los Angeles. They should be 30-point favorites. Not 30, maybe like 15, if I'm being honest. The Rams played out of their minds to beat a division opponent in week 1 who was maybe on the ropes a little bit, had some injury stuff. Like that was their game. Every year in week 1, can you spot the game in week 1? That makes no sense. I think a couple of years ago, before they drafted Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars beat the Colts in week 1 and then lost out. Last year in week 2, the Colts beat the Chiefs and lost out. Week 1 is weird. Can you spot the thing that doesn't make sense? The Bengals are slow starters. That makes sense. Sure. The Chargers are whatever. That makes sense. The Bills losing that badly to the Jets. That definitely makes sense on one side of the ball. Josh Allen protects the ball. They win. Fine. The game that doesn't make any sense was the Rams beating the Seahawks that badly. The Niners are going to destroy the Rams. That's a best bet for me. Best bets for me are Lions -4.5, Niners -7, and Colts to win straight up. I do like the Jaguars to cover, but that's not a best bet. I just want to watch that game. The other one I like, that's kind of a lean for me that I might put some money on because why not? Patriots to cover against the Dolphins. I think that the Eagles are fine. I think that the Patriots might have the best defense in the NFL. I genuinely think that. Speaking of that, the 2 best defenses in the NFL, if not the Patriots, are the Jets and the Cowboys. They'll be playing. The Jets don't have a quarterback. They have Zach Wilson, and that's going to be bad. So those are the most interesting matchups. The Jags and Kansas City that's the big one everyone's going to be talking about. The Ravens and the Bengals, of course, is always a violent, fun game. The Titans might be done. Are they going to unload players? Bills and Raiders, that game is a 1 p.m. Eastern time kickoff at Buffalo, so you got to watch the Raiders. The Raiders They played in Denver, and then they went to West Virginia, and then they're going to New York. Everyone stays at the Greenbrier, that weird hotel in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia. I don't know why they do that. I really don't know why they do that. If I were going to bet on college football, which I almost never bet on teenagers, it's like a rule that I have for myself. If I were going to bet on college football, the bet for me this weekend, BYU plus 7.5 at Arkansas. I think they're going to get it done. I really do. And next week, hey, do you want to deal with Deion Sanders next week? Here's the Oregon coach making us cover this goddamn story.
Not a big reaction. I mean, I'm trying to remember what they won to affect this conference. I don't remember. Do you remember them winning anything? I don't remember them winning anything.
I think they did play in the championship game. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Appreciate
Ugh. They didn't win anything. That is going to happen, though. Oregon is not. They're not Nebraska or Colorado State. I don't know. They can talk shit. That'll be fine. Okay. Football Friday. Everybody enjoy their weekend and blah, blah, blah. Next weekend in college football is the best college football weekend of the year. It really is. I promise. We're almost there.